Well, guys, we've been blessed to start the new year. I know we're on the 5th of January, but it's still the first week of 2024. And Frank has just dropped a brand new video, My Opinion on Music. No idea why opinion on is not capitalized like my and music are. But without further ado, without critiquing the grammar, let's just crack on with the reaction.
Hello and welcome to another video. In this video, I am going to talk about music and how shit it is.
Oh, wow. I genuinely thought he was going to talk about the good elements of music today. Turns out he's just saying music shit because this is what Frank does. He likes to make content and say things that gain a reaction from people. But the funny thing is, he says it's shit, and why does he post various links to various songs on his Twitter? And he used to do that on Discord and on YouTube and, on the official charts website. I just love how he's saying it's shit. Let's see what he's going to say. Guarantee Sigrid's going to be name dropped, and Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish and all that.
So, basically, modern music, or should I say, music that is in the charts now, is utter shit.
You can't say much, Frank, and I'll explain why you can't say much because there's literally old songs in the chart, bro. And you are banging on about how shit the new music is. Well, good news for you, my friend, because there is plenty of old music to enjoy in the chart. I don't want old music in the chart. I want what's current. Even if most of it is bad in my opinion, I still think I'd rather have new music in the chart than have some old shit because of a fucking movie or a TV series or some shit.
Because a lot of artists just fuck about using a laptop rather than actual instruments.
You said this before, so why saying it again? It's not like it's going to reinforce the point, is it?
Now, I reckon there'll be a time when music will cease to exist because people will just fuck about on laptops. Anyway, now, I prefer old music and I think
Also, if you're wondering why I'm messing around with the screen, so I've just messed up something on my phone. But, no. Frank, you prefer old music. I just said there's old music in the chart. It's so funny. Like, people are streaming older songs on Spotify and Apple Music. I prefer old music. I think he forgets old music is literally a common thing with the current charts now because people are going back to old music. And to be honest, I'm doing the same thing because a lot of new music at the minute is quite shite. So, but you do get the few bangers that come out in the current day. So, I don't know why he's still moaning. I mean, there's plenty of new music that people could enjoy, and there's a lot of old music in the chart which you can enjoy as well.
a lot of people will agree with me because older music is better than new music. Now,
Right. Old music better than new music. Um, I could agree to a certain point because a lot of music I'm listening to at the minute is stuff that I used to listen to growing up. Listening to a lot of old dance music from the 90s and noughties, same with pop music, but mainly from the noughties. Um, you know, I don't particularly listen to the new stuff all the time. I get kind of bored of listening to the current latest stuff because I'm always trying to find things that I like that's brand new, but I usually play it too often so I could do my monthly charts. But whatever.
um, now, for example, music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s was brilliant because back then people did not fuck about using a computer.
Frank, are you dumb, bruv? Music in the late 90s used computers, man. Is he not aware of this, or is he just talking out his ass? Because bearing in mind, a lot of. I mean, do you class a synthesizer as a normal instrument? Because you do realize that's like artificial sounds, man. It's not like. You know what I mean? I mean, late 90s, you had a lot of people downloading Windows 95 and 98 and making music on Windows and Mac and stuff like that. So you can't say it's all, recorded in the studio on multiple tracks when later on in the 90s we had stuff that was literally made on computers.
They used actual instruments, and of course, they played actual melodies.
Actual melodies. Mate, are you dumb? You can literally write melodies on the computer. What you on about?
Now, I'm going to list the worst artists in the music business now.
Taylor Swift is going to be on there, I think. I think Billie Eilish is going to be on there. I think Olivia Rodrigo is going to be on there. I think Sigrid's going to be on there. He's going to say, like, Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber and just... He's just going to say the same shit he said in all of his other music videos.
So, you've got Tate McRae.
Oh, that's a fucking deluxe list for you, Frank. Jesus. I don't think fucking Tate McRae will be brought up. I mean, to be honest, I do agree. I only like two Tate McRae songs. I don't even like her current material. It is just unbearable to me.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Based, I knew you going to say that.
Gail.
Gail's released one song. One song, and you're saying she's shit? Wow.
Ed Sheeran.
What? Explain. Why is Ed Sheeran shit? I don't get why Ed Sheeran shit. I thought you liked Ed Sheeran, Frank. I genuinely thought you liked, Multiply and Divide and Addition and all that bollocks. I don't know why he's hating on Ed Sheeran all of a sudden.
Rag and Bone Man.
Why is Rag and Bone Man shit? He makes bangers. He's got some good stuff in his like under his sleeve, and you're saying he's shit. Yeah, Frank, I think you're just naming random people you can think of right now.
You've also got Jason Derulo. You've also got Jason Derulo.
That is complete and utter bullshit. Why the fuck did you sing "In My Head" on an old YouTube channel then? That's literally Jason Derulo. I'm not playing the clip again because I can't be asked. But if you want to see it, just type in my head Frank Griffin on YouTube. You'll find it.
Justin Bieber.
Okay, that was kind of based.
He's got crap music nowadays.
In all honesty, the only time I liked his music is when he released. I think the album's called Purpose. When he had "What Do You Mean," "Sorry," "Love Yourself," "Let Me Love You," "Where Are You Now." That was the era I like. Oh, and "Cold Water." That was my favorite Bieber era. Shit from before and after, I wasn't so keen on.
Stormzy shit.
I somewhat agree to an extent. I like Own It, Vossi Bop, fucking Ain't It Different. That one's alright. But majority of what he's released I don't like, so I kind of get where he's coming from.
So is Dua Lipa. She's shit.
No, she's not. She's not. She's made bare bangers. Yeah, there's like, I think majority of the music she's released is worth vibing to, but I can't really name a song. I mean, the only Dua Lipa song I don't really like is "Prisoner" with Miley Cyrus.
So yeah, that is just some of the artists I think is shit at making music. Now, as for The Weeknd, his music is brilliant because
he uses a computer. Ooh, why? All right, I don't get why The Weeknd's brilliant. Like, explain, because like for The Weeknd, right? The singles tend to do well. Whatever charts tends to be liked by a lot of people. The shit that doesn't chart, most people don't really care for nor like, because it's not catchy or whatever. You know what I mean? Like album tracks and non-single material. I don't get why you like him, but let's hear his reason for it.
because he makes 80s style music.
Yeah, 80s style music, and guess what? It's on a computer. Jesus Christ, his arguments are so unshaped.
He does not fuck about using a laptop. I think he is one of the many artists who does not fuck about on the computer, mind you.
He does use a computer, Frank. Or his fucking producer uses a computer. I don't think many people like. If it's electronic music, it is 99% likely to be on a computer of some kind, whether it be on a Mac or a Windows PC or laptop. It's just so obvious. He said, mind you. What does he mean, mind you?
Even Ed Sheeran doesn't fuck about using a laptop.
I mean, yes, he plays the guitar, but I think that's the only thing that's recorded, including his vocals. I think everything else would have been done on the computer or performed by other people if he did use a full live recording of people.
Although his music is now becoming shit. Like, for example, his album, Subtract, has got a lot of shit songs on it. They are all utter fucking shit.
Why are they shit, Frank? Is it just because you didn't like anything on it, or is it because it wasn't like Equals or something? Because Equals, I mean, even Ed Sheeran said he needed an album that was gonna make him money. He wanted an album that was gonna get everyone's attention, because if you're gonna be dropping stuff like Bad Habits, Shivers, Overpass Graffiti, of course everyone's gonna be buying into it. Oh, and Two Step as well. I mean, everything on that album was just hit after hit. He wanted a hit maker album, so he clearly had people helping write it. As for Subtract and Autumn Variations, it was mostly about him and what he wanted, not what, you know, the industry wanted. That makes sense.
Now, I think Olivia Rodrigo should not be in the music industry
Why should she not be in the industry? Explain.
because she clearly does not know what good music is.
Frank, it doesn't matter if she knows what's good or bad. At the end of the day, music opinions are subjective. I can hate fucking Queen because they're old or because it's just not my cup of tea. I like Queen, by the way. I'm just using them as an example here, but it doesn't matter, right? Everyone who likes slash dislikes music or finds it on the fence, that's just an opinion. There's no one can factually tell you that a song or an artist or an album is good, because no matter who you are, everyone's got their own taste. And I can disagree with opinions that people have about stuff that I like, but that's just how music works. It's not just about enjoying it, it's about discussing it as well.
Whereas Ed Sheeran, actually, no, forget about Ed Sheeran because his music's also shit. You know, for example, right? Elvis Presley made great music. You know, also the Beatles made great music. Um, Also, a band called Queen. Now, for those who don't know, Queen was a rock band who was massive in the 1970s and 1980s, and the lead singer was a man named Freddie Mercury.
Right, Frank, we don't need a life lesson on fucking Queen. We know who Freddie Mercury is. We know what decades they made music. And I just love how I love how I said Queen as an example, and ironically he brings up Queen. Like, it's such an obvious pick, right? And like, I don't get why he's talking about these old acts. I don't even know why he even bothers with these fucking videos at all, because he just repeats himself after he deletes the video. It's like, oh, I said something in this video, or someone reacted to it, or someone liked it, or someone commented, gotta delete it now, and then fucking just re-records it and renames the title of the video.
Now, that's just for those who don't know who Queen are. Now, um, also, muse, yes, also, music from I don't know. Okay, okay, so to make okay, so to make it obvious, music from the 80s and 90s was brilliant, as I said before. Now, who are the best artists out there? Well, obviously, as I said before, you've got Elvis Presley, Queen, Michael Jackson. You've also got Prince. You've also got Rod Stewart, who has sang a load of songs. If you don't know who Rod Stewart is, I suggest you look him up on YouTube because he has done some brilliant songs. And again, he does not fuck about using a computer.
Right, Frank. Why does it matter if someone uses a computer? Like, this whole fucking argument about, oh, if it's computer based, it's shit. You do realize most instruments, right? They were recorded and then you can download the instruments onto your computer. And when you play them on the computer, they sound identical to if you actually played the real instrument in person. So I don't get your argument. And besides, a lot of music now is made on computers. And you can't change that, Frank. I don't know why it's such a fucking problem. Like, nowadays, like you've said yourself, I like this artist, I like this artist. I guarantee some kind of machine or some kind of computer was involved in the music that you've listened to. Yes, back in the 80s or whatnot, and earlier than that, it would have all been recorded straight onto a multi set of tracks or onto a tape, of course. But you do realize nowadays, especially like the 90s onwards, a lot of computers were used. And you said you like the 90s, and I've just made a point that a lot of the later 90s stuff was computer based.
He uses actual instruments. Well, of course, he gets other people. He gets other people to play to play inst to play instruments for him. Like for example, he'll say, "Right, play this melody for me." Right. Of course, he'll mix and master in the studio. Then of course, then of course, o- then of course,
Frank, you're struggling to explain nothing. You're not really adding to this video. Like you just said, I think music is shit, and then you go to say, oh no, actually, it's just modern music that's shit and computer music shit, and then you start saying shit about all of these artists who are clearly really well known by the older generation, right? And you're saying their music's goated. Well, bearing in mind, Queen had a song recently called "Face It All" or "Face It All Alone" or "Face It Alone," something like that. And the Beatles recently released a song called "Now and Then." And some of these artists that you're naming will probably still make music now, and I'll guarantee a lot of it is music based. Well, not music based. What the fuck am I saying? Computer based.
all Rod Stewart does is goes into the studio, right? He'll then record his vocals, and of course he'll then mix them out studio, and that's that really. So yeah. Um, Also, right now, okay. So as I said before, modern music or songs that are in the charts now is utter shit. Also, Tate McRae is the fucking worst artist I've ever heard. In fact, I could not. In fact, I listened to one of her songs, right, and it made my ears bleed. That's how bad her.
Bruh, Frank. I don't know why you're exaggerating. Like, it made my ears bleed. That is such a fucking primary school insult to say. Like, I get it. I'm not a fan of Tate McRae. I think her music's quite ass, but she's not a bad person, right? And a lot of music now, it's just made on computers. It's just so much easier to make on there. You're in control of everything. When it comes to recording, you gotta record it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Whilst with music on the computer, you can just write. You can just like paint out the melody on like the keyboard on the PC, and then you can just work on it by there. You can just work on it from there pretty much. But it's not shit music just because it's on a computer. Because there are some really good songs that were made on a computer, and yeah, it might not sound as like real and raw as a fully recorded track that was done in the studio. I get that, but you got to understand music's never going to go back to its roots because a lot of music now will have some involvement with a computer, and that's kind of how it goes, unfortunately.
Music is. In fact, a lot of people would agree with me as well. Also, right, um, yeah, also, Olivia Rodrigo, right, her two albums are both shit. In fact, right, she, sh- in fact, right, she is a little cunt. Now, I'm going, okay, okay, also, right,
Right, I'm sorry, like, but she's got two albums, and I think, alright, I never really liked knowing that she was a fucking Disney actor because I don't like Disney whatsoever. But the music she's releasing, like the singles on her, like I really liked Sour and Guts. I prefer Guts over Sour, but I don't get why people think she's shite. Like, yeah, she's got an audience, she's got a fan base of a particular age group, and mainly females like her. But obviously, I'm a fan of hers because she just makes great music. But a lot of music critics approve of her music as well. But I think you're just complaining, Frank, because she's new and you're not familiar with her yet. And you're just saying she's shit because she uses a computer and all that. Well, computer's not a good argument anymore, so find another excuse and shit because you can write melodies on your computer. So I don't know what shit you're talking.
Is also a, Gail is also a fat cunt because again,
Why are you fat shaming, bro? One, she's not even fat, and two, that's literal fat shaming. Why are you calling her a fat cunt? Bro, just sort your life out.
she fucks about using a laptop. She also uses a home camcorder to record her own music videos rather than actual film cameras.
Frank, are you stupid? I don't think you realise. I think those I think those camcorder shots in the ABCDEFU video, I'm pretty confident they are like effects that people put on top to make it look like it's recorded from a camcorder. But what's the problem with that? Because a lot of music videos that are coming out now aren't even in widescreen. Like some of them are literally got black bars on the side. So that's what full screen is, 4:3 aspect ratio. Like that was shit that you'd see on 80s and 90s music videos and early 2000s music videos. So, it's just nostalgia value. If people choose to record with like VHS effects or like camcorder effects or film in full screen, that's entirely their choice. But no, full screen's coming back in fashion. It's coming back in full swing. Of course, like nowadays, people are gonna resort to using widescreen for like professional production. But when it's like music videos and stuff, like it's giving the retro aesthetic and all that stuff, but you don't understand that because everything has to be how you want it, Frank.
So yes, anyway, I'm going to go now, right? And also, listen to great music, right? Don't listen to shit music. Listen to great music, right? I'm going to go now and like, subscribe, and peace.
Well, there you go. That's Frank's first video of the year. Did I like it? Of course not. It's Frank. But yeah. Also, if you wonder what this is my fingerprint on the screen. I don't know why I left that on. But nah, this video is just a re-recording, bro. You've just said the same shit you've said on your previous deleted videos. If you're gonna make content, one, keep the video on your channel. Two, stop saying the same shit repeatedly, like, music on computers are bad. Oh no, bad. And then saying the same artist like 5 times in the same video. Olivia Rodrigo, Gail, is shit. I'm like, wow, such a deep insult, bro. It's gonna make them so upset that one person on the internet who doesn't understand modern music and doesn't understand the evolution of sound, like it's just stupid, man. I can't be asked to give this a proper outro, but this man still exists. He's I don't think he's gonna be here for much longer. He's probably gonna see his reaction and go, "Why is he watching it? Why did he zoom into my face when he's watching it? Why has he got those finger things on?" Like, Frank, just be quiet, right? This video is irrelevant. You don't need to be making these videos. You don't need to say the same shit 5 times. You need to work on your stuttering. You need a fucking video editor as well. Just sort it out. This channel is dead. We just watch these videos because we know you're just going on a tangent about something that doesn't really matter. And it's just stupid reasons for things that you're ranting about. But anyways, that's it. Happy 2024. I know I'm a bit late to saying that. But this channel might have some new content coming, so hopefully you look forward to that. And if you want to watch the rest of these videos, they're in a playlist, but they're all unlisted. So if you want to watch them, they're in the playlist. You can watch them in there. This one will be public for a bit, so you're aware that it exists, and then Maybe when it hits 100 views or some shit, I'll put it in the playlist and make it unlisted. But that's it. See you in a bit.